Picture a company growing its revenue 4 times over in a single year. Gross margins near 85%, guiding to a record $50 billion quarter. Now picture it trading at just 7 times earnings, cheaper than a struggling bank. That company is Micron. And right now, Wall Street is convinced this is the top. The fear is real. Last week, the federal courts hit the memory industry with an antitrust lawsuit. The headlines screamed collusion. A year of gains suddenly looked like a trap. So let's do what nobody else is doing. Let's read the case. The accusation is serious. Micron, with its 2 Korean rivals, stands accused of keeping memory deliberately scarce to force prices up. 3 companies, 1 market, filed in federal court. It sounds like the end of the party. But read the complaint, and the case against them starts to sound like the reason to own them. And the lawsuit is only half the fear. Here is the smarter worry. Memory has always been a brutal cycle. Boom, then bust. So when a chip stock gets this cheap, veterans get nervous. A single-digit multiple is not always a bargain. Sometimes it means the peak is already in, up 800% in a year. Is this the top? It is a fair question. So before you sell, look at what Micron actually did 3 days ago. Because these numbers do not look like a top, they look like a takeoff. On June 24th, Micron reported the best quarter in its history. A year ago, this business did $9 billion. This quarter, $41.5 billion, and they guided next quarter to 50. Gross margins near 85%. Earnings over $25 a share, crushing every estimate. This is not a company rolling over, it is accelerating. And here is who is buying. More than 60% of that revenue now comes from the data center. The cloud giants building AI cannot get enough memory. Micron's fastest chips are sold out a year in advance. The customer changed. The customer is now AI itself. Now, the strangest number in the market. With earnings exploding, you would expect this stock to be expensive. It is the opposite. Micron trades at just 7.47 times forward earnings, while the average chip stock trades near 40. But here is the real shock. Measure that price against its growth and you get the PEG ratio. Under 1 is cheap. Micron's is 0.04. For a company this important, that number should barely exist. Which brings us back to that lawsuit. It accuses Micron of keeping supply tight to protect prices. But think about what that means. They are being sued for having pricing power. The thing the complaint calls a crime is what investors dream about. A product the world needs that only 3 companies can make. That is not a scandal. That is a moat. This is why the cycle is different now. Micron used to sell chips quarter to quarter at whatever price the market allowed. Today, it signs multi-year deals locked in advance. Its newest memory already ships for NVIDIA's next-generation systems. The chief executive calls these profits durable and predictable. 2 words memory investors have not heard in 20 years. So, where does it go from here? Wall Street is racing to catch up. Some price targets now reach as high as $2,000 a share. Supply is sold out, margins are at records, and demand for AI memory is still accelerating. The upside is not a hope, it is on the books. Of course, nothing goes up forever. The cycle is real, and one day it turns. But a top is not built on record demand, sold out supply, and a stock this cheap. A top is built on euphoria. And right now, all anyone feels is fear. So, is this the top for Micron? The lawsuit is noise. The cycle is real, but years from turning. And the valuation is, frankly, absurd. A company growing this fast does not trade at 7 times earnings at the top. It trades there when the smart money is too scared to believe its own numbers. So no, this is not the top. Claw strike. Decoding the AI revolution.